Doug had thought the funeral should be in the National Cathedral. Lila reminded him she was Jewish. "Isn't there a cross over the pulpit?" She squinted at Doug. "Who would say Kaddish?" She decided on the Kennedy Center's Eisenhower Theater. Doug was disappointed. Why not the concert hall or the opera house? "They each hold over 2,000 people," Lila said. "The Eisenhower holds 1,000. Grand is okay, not grandiose." "Do you think I'm on the guest list?" Grace asked Ruth as they walked inside the theater. "Just kidding." "You're going to have to make it up with Lila, dead or alive," Ruth said. She had loved Lila. As with all of her daughter's friends, Lila had been at her most charming, most engaging with Ruth. "I thought she'd like The Lost Mother. It was funny. People said it was funny. She was the book's hero." "Lila was a hero in life," Ruth said. There were 10 speakers, each held to 7 minutes, Lila's hand from the grave. "I want stories, funny stories," Lila had written in the instructions. "No tear-jerking the congregation." Her sister, Clara, recited the Kaddish, memorizing it for a second sad time. The first time had been at their brother Polo's funeral. He died in 2000, jolting Lila into a fury of mourning. "I hate this feeling, like it's the end of the world," she had said to Joe at Polo's funeral. "Is this the way regular people feel?" "Yes," he said. He was only 47, 3 months away from retiring. She blew her nose. "I guess he saw he was running out of time." For a month after his death, she had walked 5 miles a day, getting up at 6 a.m. so she'd be done by 8. "What do you think about on your walks?" Joe had said. "I don't think. I walk. You know I can't multitask." "How do you not think?" "I don't want to think, so I don't. I walk to breathe. If I can just keep breathing." If she could have just kept breathing, Joe thought, as Clara finished the prayer. Over everyone's objections, COVID was still lurking. Joe's mother, Frances, attended the service. "It keeps her alive for me," she told Joe. "The day she died was the saddest day of my life." The virtual twins, both visibly pregnant, had also been discouraged from coming, everyone weighing in. Joe, their obstetrician, the airlines. They wound up leasing a plane, picking up Frances on the way. "It's sad Lila won't know our babies," Stella said. "Sad, too, they won't know her," Ava said. Doug Marshall was the first speaker. He had taken up the role of master of ceremonies. He was used to bossing people, and he looked the part. 6'3", once blond, now graying, he was, as Lila often said, an echt wasp and an echt mensch. He told the story about the midnight meeting the day the president's council was fired, when Lila's pirates were working the phones, trying to find a second source for the rumor that Webb was going to let his younger son take the fall for the pay-to-play scheme. "Webb is a gerbil," Doug said, gleefully, his voice rising for the peroration. "He eats his young." All the Globe stories were funny and fierce and first person, as much about the eulogists as the deceased. None of them cried openly. Lila had forbidden it. Felicity Turner, one of the pirates, talked about a trip to Detroit she had taken with Lila, shortly after the cancer diagnosis. "We drove round her old neighborhood, which had been the site of the worst of the 1967 riots. Lila opened the window and pointed to a run-down brick house with broken front steps and a sagging front porch. The houses on either side were in better repair, their lawns mowed, their front doors brightly painted. I grew up there. Little house on the prairie." She closed the window. "Detroitus." Sally Alter was cleanup, the youngest last. As she opened her mouth to speak, tears trickled down her cheeks. "Lila treated me like a daughter." She dabbed at her eyes with a tissue. "Allergies." Grace folded her program. "This is satire."